Every morning, you wake up to the same headlines, the same stories, the same version of the truth. But what if there's more they're not telling you? This is The Suppressed Signal, where we explore the stories behind the story and the questions no one wants asked. This program discusses speculative topics, alternative theories, and unverified claims. It is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only.
Good morning. It's 8:07 and 1,000 degrees outside. Man, I'll tell you, it's hot and it's going to get hotter. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, we are under a heat warning, heat advisory. Stay inside. Don't go outside until 8 p.m. Friday night. And we'll probably go on to the 4th of July. But right now it is, you can tell by the music and by all the activity going on, it is now time for the suppressed signal with your host, the Kendrick brothers, Mark and Kenny Kendrick. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. Good morning.
And I don't know if the sleep is out of my eyes on this one, guys. But we're going to talk about Rear Admiral Richard E. Byrd.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about his discovery. Well, I tell you what, we're just going to start from the very beginning and we're going to let the Kendricks tell us who Admiral Richard E. Byrd was, Rear Admiral.
Okay, so Admiral Richard E. Byrd was a naval officer. He was an aviator, naval aviator. He served in both world wars. He's a very, very famous explorer and a very credible person in general. He's very well respected, and he was one of the leaders in the exploration of both poles, the North Pole and the South Pole. But the expedition that we're going to talk about today, or his expeditions, are the ones that he went to the South Pole. And there were three of them. The first one was from 1928 to 1930. The second one, 1933 to 1935. The last one, in 1947, Operation Highjump,
which is the most famous one.
Right, is the most famous one. Is the one that there are some questions about the exploration and discovery, what he may have discovered while he was down there.
I just want to add, we're talking about him being credible. This information said Byrd earned both the Medal of Honor and the Navy Cross for his bravery. His fame was so massive that he is one of only a handful of people in history to receive 3 separate ticker tape parades in New York City.
Wow.
He also lived by himself.
He was a loner.
Well, no. He wrote a book called Alone, right? And it was about his time where he was manning a weather station and almost died a couple of times from carbon dioxide poisoning. But that was back when there was no internet, no Wi-Fi, no TV, maybe a radio signal, but there was no entertainment.
And this guy was a straight up guy. I mean, he was. If you can think of an admiral or a colonel, a strict military. That's what this guy was.
He's a very disciplined man.
Straight business, very disciplined, and loved his country.
Absolutely.
So, very prominent admiral for the U.S. Navy.
So, a couple of interesting facts. The Antarctic Treaty was signed in 1959.
Right.
Okay, so there's 195 countries in the world. 58 of those countries have signed the Antarctic Treaty.
Right.
And it sets aside Antarctica as a scientific reserve, preserve, so that any nation can go down there and establish a scientific base for research.
Expeditions, yeah.
Mostly weather there. That is what they study. So-called.
Yeah.
And they do a lot of drilling into the ice, core samples, to look at what the weather was and over many years. And so there's a lot of activity down there.
Right.
that is supposedly scientific research. So there are lots of theories about what's going on.
This is in 1947.
Right. So anyway, all military activity is banned on the continent, and the treaty protocol on environmental protection says that the access to Antarctica will be extremely limited. So it's my understanding that if you attempt to go there, fly there in a plane, or go there in a watercraft of some kind, that you will be stopped by the military
immediately,
a considerable distance from Antarctica.
Which military? Ours? Russians?
Very likely, ours and the Russians would be the two most prominent ones. Yes.
Not. Let's see. What country is closest? Is it Chile?
Antarctica.
Yeah.
So interesting, you should say.
Yes. Yeah.
So, another interesting fact is 11 babies have been born in Antarctica. If you can believe that.
Only 11.
11.
Wow.
They know how many.
Well, yeah, because it's.
Oh, yeah.
Well, if you got to get permission to go there.
Argentina and Chile.
Yeah.
Both sent pregnant women to Antarctica.
What?
To have their babies.
No.
To strengthen their claims on the island. So there are several nations who have laid claim to portions of Antarctica, and that's Argentina, Australia, Chile, France, New Zealand, Norway, and the United Kingdom.
Now, what do you mean by laid their claim?
They
put their
have
flag on there and
it's
said,
just like the Spaniards did and the English did in the New World.
So
they planted the flag, and this is for the Queen of Spain or the Queen of England.
So it's almost a battle over territory in a sense.
Well, it's not really a battle, but they have established claims there.
Right.
And there's probably a very good reason for that.
Okay.
And that's one of the things that kind of the conspiracies swirl around. But Argentina and Chile went so far as to
say that they have citizens.
Send women there to say they have citizens born on the island.
So that's a birthright. Right.
Yeah.
That's where that goes.
Right.
Oh yeah. Right. It's documented through.
Yeah. So another thing.
Wow.
Another interesting fact is Antarctica is the only place on Earth where land is not officially owned by anybody.
That's correct.
And if you go to Google Earth, and everybody's familiar with that, most of the images, if not all of the images of Antarctica, are blurred out.
Now, how big is Antarctica? It's a fairly large continent, ain't it?
It's a large continent.
Yeah, well, I mean, it covers the South Pole.
I don't know what the landmass is.
Evidently, it's secret.
So basically, nobody is let in, and only people that are approved or an expedition of some sort
that are approved. Yes.
Superpower.
But they have other countries that have actually staked claim to this continent, right?
So
I can understand Australia. I can understand New Zealand. I can understand Argentina and Chile, but Norway, France, Great Britain.
They're reaching. They're reaching down there. I mean, that's some long real estate.
So when Admiral Byrd went there, he was actually on a television interview with an interview panel, and on that television interview, he reported that there were vast natural resources in Antarctica, and he said that there was enough coal there to supply the entire world. Now you think about that, okay?
Rich
you
minerals,
think about
right?
Of course, I know that it's an environmental issue, but you think about how much coal is consumed in the U.S. and has been for
decades, centuries, yeah,
and the same in Europe and Asia. So that's a big deal. That much coal, it's in that one spot to supply the entire world.
Right.
Also, there was evidence of oil. Which is always going to...
In Antarctica?
In Antarctica.
Really?
And...
Wow.
Uranium.
Now, what's uranium used for?
Bombs.
Right. So, and it's
A lot of
gold?
uranium.
It
What
is
about
a
gold?
very scarce
What about gold?
commodity. He did not mention gold.
Hmm.
Why do you think he didn't mention gold?
Probably a lot of it down there.
Oh yeah.
If there were,
I mean,
Yeah.
what would happen? I mean,
it'd be a land.
another gold rush.
Yeah,
Right.
gold rush. Everybody's
So-
going.
Operation Highjump,
Yes. Here we go.
largest expedition to the Antarctic ever.
Well, okay.
Yeah. Let's talk about
But we've got to take a break.
Yeah.
Right now, I got. Now he was in 1929. He and his crew successfully completed a first ever flight over the South Pole,
Yes.
launching from their base Little America on the Ross Ice Shelf. Now, 3 years earlier, in May of 26, and that's 100 years ago, he claimed to have made the first airplane flight over the North Pole, though historians and experts debate if his plane actually reached it.
Right.
Now, tell us a little bit about that. Do you know anything about that?
Okay, so it was his the controversy over his North Pole flight stems around the fact that there were several people who looked at their navigational calculations and said that they probably missed the North Pole by about 100 miles, and so when Admiral Richard Byrd says, "I made it to the North Pole," famous, very, very famous
Thumbs up.
naval aviator and explorer, nobody's going to want to throw egg on his face.
Exactly.
Right.
Nobody's going to want to dispute that claim.
So, did he make it?
Oh, 100 miles.
He says he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there are those who may have sought to discredit him.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then he may have actually not made it. But because back then, is aviation was not as precise,
Right.
in its navigation
Right.
tools as it is
Exactly.
now.
Exactly.
So it's possible that he could have missed it.
Yeah.
By how much, we don't know.
We don't
but
know.
it was honestly a good faith effort.
Yeah. And like you said, in 1926, well, he probably took readings from the stars and the sun, and
I mean,
and
you
you're flying, and 100 miles is not that far.
Well, they didn't have
aviation was 30 years old.
Right. I mean, they didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't have the tech. I mean,
Right.
I guess they did, but I mean, it's very
They had
possible.
They navigated with math.
right,
Basically.
exactly.
Or map.
Yeah.
Time distance heading.
Or-
Time distance heading.
Yeah, yeah.
And that is easy to get off.
to miss. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's aircraft have been lost many times.
We're gonna take a break
The
when
high and the mighty.
we come back. We're gonna talk about Operation Highjump.
High jump.
All right. We'll be right back.
That's what happened on the high and mighty.
Y'all don't.
And we are back with the suppressed signal. Mickey Utley putting us on the cutting edge of technology. Mickey, tell us what these tablets and phones are.
Well, I'll tell you what we're doing. We are going live right now. Not live in a sense of on the air. Well, it's not live as far as the podcast goes, but we have a suppressed signal channel. It's a YouTube channel. And every Wednesday, we're going to start putting the live version of the suppressed signal on the YouTube channel. So not only can you hear it, this afternoon you will be able to see it. Go to the suppressed signal page and the YouTube suppressed signal channel. Yep, you're going to be on the air. I mean, you've been on the air 20 years, Drew, but now you are going to be seen, my friend. Wave at the camera. How you doing?
All I see is my bald spot.
No, you got a head full of hair,
I
man.
know, I see a bald spot.
I
I'm
love
about to
your
go
hat.
down in my car and get my hat.
So why do you think I'm wearing one? There you go, Drew.
Yeah,
Okay. No, I got it too, man.
I'm thinking.
Look,
about
I've got the camera behind. Yeah. So Operation Highjump.
Okay, so Operation Highjump, 1947, largest Antarctic expedition to date at that time.
Huge, man.
4,000
Huge.
4,000 men and 13 ships, plus a complement of aircraft,
Yes.
so that they could
It was a big
do
mission.
flights. It's a huge mission, yes. The official government story,
About the mission.
as always, in
Right.
the official story,
Mm-hmm.
was that it was for cold weather training and equipment testing. And the reason they needed to do that was because the Cold War had just started to heat up.
Right.
And the threat required extreme cold weather training because just a few years prior in World War II, the weather had really been one of the huge factors that helped the Russians defeat the Germans.
So basically, they went down to Antarctica to train in the cold weather for the upcoming.
Right, in case they had to fight in extreme cold weather.
Right.
But there are those who say that the size and scale of this expedition doesn't fit the narrative of a cold weather training exercise. It was just simply way more going on that would have been necessary for cold weather training. Although I'm sure the men involved did get plenty of good cold weather training. But that was the official reason for this
Operation
expedition.
Highjump.
And so
say
the goals were to conduct cold weather training, establish permanent U.S. base for research and exploration, and to conduct the research and exploration while they were there.
Right.
Okay? So Admiral Byrd, they had flown several missions, and they were flying to very specific places on the continent. And these places apparently were bare. They didn't have any snow on them. They were rocky, and they most of them were like elevated areas, mountains, and some of them very big mountains. So the last flight that occurred, Admiral Byrd himself flew on that last mission. And the official story was that his aircraft encountered technical difficulties, and they lost radio contact for 3 hours. 3 hours, lost radio contact. So there's a couple of ways to explain that. Magnetic interference, which would lend itself to this, because we'll see in a minute.
Right.
Or a communications blackout.
That sounds more in line.
That would bring on the question of why would you have a communication blackout? Okay, so just before they lost radio contact, the radio operator that was on station, that was communicating with them, said they reported being over the target with a very strong magnetic field. So that definitely could cause some interference with the communications. Bare ground with a very large mountain in view. Okay, so that's the last transmission. They were over the target.
What was said?
They were over the target. They had a very strong magnetic field. Bare ground, meaning no snow over it.
Bare ground.
With a large mountain in view. So this is Antarctica.
Right.
Why wouldn't there be, as cold as it is, why wouldn't there be snow on everything?
Because it gets too cold to snow sometimes.
Okay.
I mean, it does, because the cold air dries up all the moisture.
Well, I mean, it does get too cold to snow.
Right.
But you would think it was the same temperature.
Well, you would think that it snowed at one time, but if it's not going to melt.
But is there snow on the North Pole?
Yeah.
Right. But in the South Pole, it's mainly rock, not snow, right?
No, it's snow.
Okay.
Ask the Emperor Penguins.
Yeah. I mean, that's
no, it's snowing both places. It's really cold down there.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's no snow. Wow. Okay, so
these are big bare areas in it. Now, when you report and this is a military operation.
Now this
is information is critical, especially communicating. So he reports bare ground. So why would that be significant?
What happened is he reported bare ground, but he could actually see the line.
There you go.
Out into the land. So it was like snow, nothing.
And then bare ground, right?
And then Snow? Nothing. So it was like in spots.
That would be considered a weather anomaly, wouldn't it?
Well, absolutely.
There would be snow all over the place, and then all of a sudden, big patch.
So even if there wasn't snow,
so
big mountain.
Immediately after that report, that's when the radio went silent.
Right.
Okay, and it was silent for 3 hours.
So we are getting into the missing diary.
Okay, so
the hours missing diary, right? That's what
we're getting to that. This 3 hours. This 3 hours is where the controversy lies.
Right. Here we go.
You know what happened during this 3 hours.
Right.
So after 3 hours. So immediately after that report, that last report, the radio went silent.
Right.
Okay. Immediately after that.
Right.
Then, after the blackout was lifted, or the radio started working again, which I lean toward the blackout.
Yeah. Right.
And the blackout was lifted, or the equipment started working again, there were several coded messages sent. Now, the witnesses to that obviously didn't know what the coded messages meant, because they were coded for a reason. But there were 2 words that were said, and it was source confirmed. Source confirmed.
That was it.
Right.
Yeah.
So
within the code,
my thinking, the source of the magnetism, because there's a very strong magnetic field, or the source of a signal of some kind,
or an anomaly.
Something that they were looking for was found.
Right.
All right. So that leads me to believe that this may have been discovered on one of his other, this area may have been discovered on one of his other expeditions, but they went down there in force to determine what it was and to get a better look at it. That's just my opinion.
Right.
But the interesting thing about all this is, when Admiral Byrd returned, they immediately got out of there.
Right.
Break camp.
Yeah.
And with great haste, they left.
Yeah.
Okay, wait a minute. I want to make sure that I get this right for our listeners and everyone else out there.
Right. Do a little recap.
So after this 3-hour period of radio silence, whether it was his radio was jammed or if it was, he was told to be silent, when he started passing these coded messages back and forth, all of a sudden he returned back to base camp, and
they're out of there.
They're like, let's go. We got to go.
So
gotta go. Bye-bye.
I mean, in haste. It was
right.
Back
it up, let's go.
The interesting thing about this entire expedition is that there were a group of civilian scientists with them, and the lead researcher, the lead geologist, reported that the source of the magnetic field was a deposit of a strategic resource, a mineral so powerful and valuable that it could change the world. Not measured in tons, but cubic kilometers.
Massive.
We
got to go, boys.
A massive.
That's basically
deposit.
Yeah. Deposit of what?
Enough for an entire century of war.
And that'd be uranium.
It has to be.
It's
got to be.
That's the first thing that came to my mind.
Okay, so we got uranium. We got uranium.
But maybe it was, maybe it wasn't.
Well, they were really looking for uranium back then.
Oh, absolutely.
They
were in the beginning of the Cold War.
Right.
Yeah, I mean that was.
They needed some sort
uranium mines were a big thing. People
Yeah,
get
absolutely.
swindled out of money because of uranium mines. Yes.
So the official reason for leaving was that a bad storm front was coming in.
Right.
All right. But
But this guy lived by himself, and by himself.
Well,
for 15 years before that,
they were there for cold weather.
Right.
So
from what I was told, right after that code was sent, you're right, Kenny. I mean, right after that code was sent, something was said, that they had to leave.
Yes.
I mean, immediately.
Or
did something tell them to leave?
we will find out because after this next break,
man.
After this next break,
All right.
Mark are going to go over the flight log from that. Is this the flight log from
this is
3 hours?
personal diary.
Personal diary.
Robert Byrd, Admiral Byrd's diary. And
They found his diary.
Well,
tell you what, we'll take a break and then we'll let the Kendricks explain it.
We'll be right back.
Wouldn't say uncovered, but I would say released.
Yeah, okay, got it.
7 years after his death. So, in it, this is where it gets a little sketchy. This is supposedly Admiral Byrd's words in his private journal, not his official journal.
Right.
But as he was approaching this area that he was flying to, an invisible force took control of his aircraft.
Tractor beam.
Tractor what?
A tractor beam. He said 2 vessels, one on either side of him, spoke to him and told him that they were in control of his aircraft, not to worry.
Telepathy.
Yeah.
And
maybe.
No, they were his radio man.
Right.
So it came on the radio.
And this was
over his radio.
Yeah,
over his radio.
In the airplane.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
And this was after he'd spotted a woolly mammoth.
And this
he had seen several things.
This is what was jotted down in the journal.
Right.
This is supposedly in his journal.
Yeah.
The craft that escorted him, he noted that they had swastikas on them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so that everybody knows, the swastika, of course, is associated with the Nazis in Germany.
Right.
But
it was a religious symbol.
It was a religious symbol, a symbol of peace prior to
the Germans.
It being adopted by the Nazi Party.
Right.
And actually, the idea for it came from a church that Adolf Hitler attended as a choir boy when he was a child. So,
all right. Well, wait a minute. Now, I want to read this excerpt. The excerpt from the diary. It says right here, 11:30 hours. Countryside below is more level than normal. Ahead, we spot what seems to be a city. This is impossible. Aircraft seems light and oddly buoyant. The controls refuse to respond. My God, in capital letters. Off to our port and starboard wings are a strange type of aircraft. They're closing rapidly. They are disc-shaped and have a radiant quality to them. They are close enough now to see the markings on them. It is a type of swastika. This is fantastic. Where are we? What has happened? I tug at the controls again. They will not respond. We are caught in an invisible vice grip of some type. Then it says here on the radio crackles, voice comes through in English with what perhaps is a slight or Nordic German accent. And the message is, welcome, Admiral, to our domain. We shall land you in exactly 7 minutes. Relax, Admiral. You are in good hands. I note that the engines of our planes have stopped running. The aircraft is under some strange control and is now turning itself. The controls are useless.
Whoa.
So, just to go back for a minute, now, wonder why Norway laid claim to part of Antarctica.
There you go.
So this
sounds
like a Nordic accent. Just connecting those two dots.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, here's another dot to put right in there. You know, Norway was the only source for the Germans for heavy water.
Yes.
And heavy water is used in production.
Production of
No wonder they wanted to.
They almost had a nuclear bomb.
Yes.
Almost.
Norway?
No, the Germans.
No, the Germans. That's one of the reasons why they invaded Norway.
Mm-hmm. And that is the reason, and that's what happened to Joe Kennedy Jr., who would have been not John F. Kennedy, but would have been our president.
Joe.
Boy, there's a lot we don't know.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, man.
He was shot down.
Wow.
Well, yeah, he crashed doing a remote. Yeah.
Man.
Anyway, let's get back to another radio message was received at 11:40, about 5 minutes later.
Okay.
This message was, we begin the landing process now, and in moments the plane shudders slightly, begins its descent as though caught in some giant unseen elevator. The downward motion is negligible, and we touch down with only a slight jolt. Then it says here at 11:45, I'm making a hasty last entry into the flight log. Several men are approaching on foot towards our aircraft. They are all tall with blonde hair. In the distance is a large shimmering city pulsating with rainbow hues of color. I don't know what's going to happen now,
Was this guy
but I
drunk?
see no signs of weapons on those approaching. I now hear a voice ordering me
Wow.
by name to open the cargo door, and I comply. Now, that
Wow.
was the end of his written log, but he writes more from memory later on, right?
So
Right.
now, that's exactly right. So now, just to kind of put this into context,
Mm-hmm.
what Drew just read is typical of an after action review,
Right. Right.
stating facts, and the way he stated the facts and what happened is typical of a military
What he
Man.
was trained
Yeah,
to
after
do.
action.
So
Yes,
he's speaking of what he's
absolutely.
trained
I
about.
have no doubt that he wrote that.
Right.
Sit rep.
Yeah.
Situation report.
Right, exactly.
What's
That's
it
what
called?
Sit rep.
Situation report.
Okay.
Okay, and so this is he's apparently writing this
Right.
As it's happening.
as it's happening.
Yeah.
Because obviously this is a research mission, and they're going to be taking notes. So they take him. Apparently, they take him down an elevator
Yeah.
into a long hall,
Mm-hmm.
and you may
read
be able to
that?
read some
Can
more.
you
Well,
read
it says we proceed down a long hallway that is lit by a rose-colored light that seems to be emanating from the very walls themselves. One of the beings motions for us to stop before a great door. Over the door is an inscription, and I cannot read. The great door slides open, and I am beckoned to enter. One of my hosts speaks. Have no fear, Admiral. You are here to have an audience with the Master. And he steps inside, and according to his description, his eyes adjust to the light that seems to be filling the room completely. Then I begin to see my surroundings. What greeted my eyes was the most beautiful sight of my entire existence. It is in fact too beautiful to describe. It is exquisite and delicate, and I do not think there exists a human term that could describe it in any detail with justice. My thoughts are interrupted in a cordial manner by a warm, rich voice. I bid you welcome to our domain, Admiral.
Anunnakis.
Okay.
That's kind of what he described.
Yes.
Is what they're called Anunnakis, right? It's a different species.
Oh,
we'll get into that.
There's another one called the Nordics.
The Nordics
and there's
too,
another one called the Pleiadians.
right?
Yes.
And one of them is it the Nordic, or is it the Nordic or the Anunnakis that are the tall blondes?
Hold up.
Let's
think the Nordics
let
are.
Drew catch up.
Okay.
Yeah, hold up. Let's let Drew and our audience catch up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We jumped
Well,
off
we'll
on
talk.
something.
No, yeah,
So explain the three that you just said. Okay, these people in here, he says beings, but of course they sound like human beings.
yes,
Yes.
Tall,
Right.
Nordic,
blonde,
blue
tall.
eyes. You know, the kind of people that the Nazis wanted in their
Right.
blonde
Right.
hair.
Yeah.
Yes, the
Yeah.
master race.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Ken.
Yeah.
Yes, the
The
master race.
master race.
So
Yeah.
now, and you guys were talking about, you just named three, sound like tribes.
Nikki,
No,
Nikki named
tribes.
the Anunnakis.
Go ahead.
What are Nakis?
It's a different species. So you have everybody's trying to bring out the type of extraterrestrials or beings out there. Right now, they've got I think there's been 5 that has been spoke for, but there are thousands.
Yes, there
And
are.
one of them is called a Nordic. Those are what seems like that Admiral Byrd is describing.
They're very tall. They're like 7.5 feet.
The
Long blonde hair.
blue eyes.
Just
blue
think
eyes.
of them as seeds of certain peoples,
Right.
Yes.
Right.
more or less.
Yes.
So that's the Nordics, and then the
Nordic.
Anunnakis is from a different. Then you got your
Egypt,
Greys.
Egypt.
Yeah.
That area.
hmm
And if you look at some of the Egyptian carvings and that, there's
Yeah.
lots of stuff that lends itself to interpretation
Absolutely.
of technology. Okay.
Proves
Go ahead.
That helps prove my theory, which is so controversial I cannot talk about it, and I've been asked to leave places because I've talked about it.
Oh.
Believe it or not.
Really?
Yes.
Hey.
Yes. And this
Oh,
goes
yeah,
along
absolutely.
with my theory on that.
Mhm.
So, but let's forget about that right now. So we're going to go to break because we're going to have to continue this next week.
Oh
Because
yeah, I think
this
so.
right here makes a lot of sense as far as timeline of when we started seeing UFOs in this country.
1947.
Right.
So stay tuned, and we're going to go to break.
We'll be right back.
So
Remember
what
my theory when I told you about, okay, I believe
Yes, it is.
it is as if I was blind, but now
Oh,
I
I
can
see.
see. I mean, this is really starting to. I mean, when I first read this morning with my coffee and my peanut butter sandwich, I'm thinking these guys are crazy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I have a
since then,
certificate.
since then,
Mark's licensed.
but since then, it's starting to make sense. It makes,
Well,
Think
when
about
you
it.
connect the dots,
Yes,
when the dots
yes.
start falling into
I'm
place, it all
glad
makes sense.
because people will be able to see any one of us when the light comes on when they connect two dots. You can see it.
You see it in your
Yeah.
face.
in
Oh,
your
yeah.
faces.
well, yeah, because I usually go like
Right. It's usually pretty dramatic when you go in.
yeah.
And when you hear that, you should see the facial expression that goes with it because it's an awakening.
So, Mark, we'll continue this next week, man.
Yeah, because
Oh,
we got to
yeah,
finish this story.
It really gets
This is interesting.
good after this.
It's pretty deep.
Get ready
Yeah.
because now it starts, right? I mean,
Now it
operation.
starts.
Yeah, I mean, this is the really
We've
good
given
stuff.
you the
Yeah.
information and the background on Admiral Byrd. So, and now we jump down the rabbit hole.
Right.
But
That's a good way to put it, Mark.
man, so anyway,
Jump down the rabbit hole.
I tell you, I got caught reading this, but anyway.
Yeah.
Well, now after this meeting, which we're going to talk about next week,
Mm-hmm.
okay, Admiral Byrd's been ushered into. He's met the master, the person who's in charge of this place.
Right.
Right.
And after they meet is when all of a sudden he comes back and says, "We got to go.
gotta
There's
go."
a big storm
Yes,
coming.
that's right.
See you later."
Oh, so that was after all of this.
Yeah.
I got
back
you. Okay,
from
now
all
I'm
that,
right.
This all
That's when
happened
they
during
said,
that-
"Okay, we got to go. The weather's coming in."
This all
And
happened.
nobody believed the weather story
Right.
either.
Oh,
None,
no.
none of the people there did.
This all happened during that 3-hour blackout,
Yes.
radio
yes,
blackout.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
All this, the meeting of the master,
There's
There's the look.
I did not know that.
what the master
Right.
had told them,
yes.
and what made them leave in such haste, all happened during this 3-hour period.
Right.
So
And-
that explains why they had a blackout for 3 hours.
Well,
So there's something
maybe.
there.
Something.
There's
They
something
told
there.
them something, and it's like, hey, y'all,
And-
we got to leave.
And so what we need to think about for next week
Yeah.
was the blackout done by the expedition personnel
Yeah,
in order that
military blackout.
military blackout for security purposes, or did the people who escorted him
Mm-hmm.
black the radios out
Oh,
so that they wouldn't know
Exactly.
Well, if they
Damn
can
signal.
land that plane,
oh yeah, yeah.
they can black out that
Yes,
signal. I'm
absolutely.
sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
I could see why we would want to do it because the Russians at that time,
they were
I
in
mean,
for the same thing.
right, right.
They were running for the same thing.
right? But they were also trying to rebuild from the war.
Yeah.
So but we did not want them to know we were down there.
That's right.
And we wouldn't.
That's right.
We
Right.
wouldn't because they were
Wow.
at 1947. Wasn't this around the Berlin airlift or a year before the Berlin airlift?
It was right around that time.
Yeah. So we were, the Cold War, as they say, was heating up.
Yeah. And Roswell too.
Yeah.
That happened the
and-
same
that's
year.
Well, we're going to go into it next week of
Yeah.
why, because this time period coincides with the first sightings of UFOs.
Yes.
So what we're doing is just peeling away history,
Yeah.
Like an onion.
trying to find the
looking
trying to-
at the story behind history.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
right.
So
Seeing
we're-
what's really
so
there.
history-
So we're going to
history.
see where the next dot is.
That's right.
So tune in next Wednesday
Yeah.
for the suppressed signal as we finish up Rear Admiral Byrd, and I want to find out what happened to him after. So we'll just talk all about that
Absolutely.
coming up. We got one more minute to go,
Mm-hmm.
and we'd like to thank the Kendrick brothers for coming in
Yeah,
once
appreciate
again. You
As
guys, this is
always,
your
man.
show.
It's just an awesome thing to be a part of this.
It is.
Kenny and I have talked about this for a long time, and like I said, it's about asking questions, and it got started by me asking Mickey about Area 51, the little
Man.
sticker he had on the back, and then it turns into this.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we got to talking about it, and it was like, wait a
Right.
minute, You feel me?
You you're kind of hesitant sometimes to share some of this
not
stuff
only
because
that,
people do look at
right,
you like
and not only that, Mark was talking to Drew and talking about it, and it was like, you know, the way that Drew was reacting. I said, this would be perfect, man.
Yes.
And so I think we've opened Drew's eyes on some things.
It's making me. I'm telling you. No. I mean, it putting together a lot of stuff that I thought of, but we got to go. Swap Shop up next.
Man, whew, that was a good show.
Thank you for joining us.
Good job, guys.
Drew Magruder, Kenny Kendrick, Mark Kendrick, and of course the man behind the board, Mickey Upton. Thank you. See you next week for part 2. Awesome.